Hello, Iris J here with Madrona's Pulse Teachings, and I'm just making this short video for you as this November 8th eclipse draws closer to us. Some themes, some ideas to be present with. This is for many folks a challenging time. Eclipse, we're right in the middle of eclipse season. We have 4 days until this lunar eclipse hits, which is happening in Taurus, and the moon is going to be right in the middle of Uranus in the North Node. This is energy that we worked with months ago, just Uranus being close to the North Node. We describe that as portal energy. So eclipse season is portal energy. It's a time of change. It's a time of insight. It's a time of shedding. Let's not forget that there's so much Scorpio energy going on right now. We're in so much of it. And Scorpio is about shedding. Scorpio is about kind of sometimes being forced to see things that we have been ignoring, that we have been comfortably possibly ignoring. And a lot of times there's kind of this like blame that, oh, you haven't been looking at this. No, that's really not what this is about. That's not how eclipse season is working. This is not about blame. This is not about needing to work harder. This is about the fact that as we're evolving in rhythm and in discourse with the universe, with the cosmos, that we're evolving and we're seeing parts of ourselves that maybe it wasn't time to see yet. Maybe we're feeling a confusion, or we're feeling tension, or something's happening in our life. I know that things have happened for me, and we haven't actually been ready to see. Eclipse season is about seeing. And when it's an eclipse that's happening with Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, they're in Scorpio close to the South Node, this is about seeing pretty deeply rooted things within our psyche. Okay, this is about, and again, of course, you don't have to look. Of course, you can go on with your life. But in my experience, when our soul wants us to look, we're going to look, and life is going to point us, or things are going to happen. I, for instance, spent several days in the hospital this week with a burst appendix. Who knew that was coming? Wild card. And folks, it was incredible. Today is the first day that I've had a bit of energy return, and I read what I wrote in my journal the morning before this eclipse, what I was writing about my own eclipse reflections, the morning before my appendix burst. And then I was reflecting on the experience I had going through this and things that are coming up, and there was such an alignment. And if you had told me that there was an alignment when I was laying in that hospital bed, no. Well, actually, yeah, I would have heard it, because that's what I do. This is what I do, right? But it wasn't the first place I was going, because I was just in pain. But all of, that personal story, that personal reflection, to say that eclipses are about alignment. They're about the nodes of destiny. They're about the nodes of karma. They're about us releasing things that we need to release. And I think all I want to say is this weekend is coming upon us because there is a lot of intense energy, and there is a need to rest, and there is a need to go within, and there is a need to know when not to go within, and to kind of skirt on the shallower side, because life is most likely going to take us there all on its own. And it's just to ask ourselves what we might be ready for. What are you ready for? Taurus is pretty sturdy energy, and this is a lunar eclipse in Taurus. It's Earth. These are fixed signs, which is, that energy that isn't necessarily about change, but they're fixed signs that are getting a huge influx of change to them. You don't get more of an influx of change than Uranus and the North Node together at an eclipse. Okay, so this is an opportunity for our psyches to shed. Potentially we're talking about lineages of shame, lineages of trauma that we inherited, that most likely manifested in our own life in some way. But the stories and cycles of violence and trauma are always intergenerational, and they're always social, and they're always rooted in so much more than ourselves. And yet this is an opportunity to release. And again, that doesn't have to be a grand sweeping gesture. That can be That can be lying in bed when we're exhausted and maybe getting an insight. That can be going for a walk. That can be having a solo dance. That can be writing any tension for oneself. The astrology is going to keep coming. The cosmos is going to keep shifting. Our psyches are going to keep dancing with the cosmos, and we're going to build structures. But it is really important to note that, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, they're going across the South Node. Then they move and they're directly opposite Uranus, and then they're directly square Saturn. It's like the shedding of that which is blocking us, so that we can invite change into our values, into our worldview, into our sense of self. And then we have Saturn, who's ready to give us that charge and plant the seeds of actually building some ground so that we can build the lives that we want. And Taurus is about the lives that we want. It's about the lives that we deserve. What do you want? What have you maybe been afraid to think that you deserve? You deserve it. You can start imagining it, playing with it, planting the seeds. This is the energy that this eclipse is really inviting us to come into. Okay. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Please subscribe, like all the YouTube stuff that helps us expand our teachings in this beautiful tool that we have. And really, eclipse blessings going out to you. Remember to breathe, remember to relax, remember to cultivate an air of hope. And remember that it's okay to let go what we do not need anymore. It's just okay. Take care.